everyone. At the moment, I don't think there's anyone watching, but uh, that's how it is sometimes. Not always everyone or someone watching. I think um, there's maybe a bit too much light on the camera. I think let's go with this, shall we? Not really, but better. There. That's a bit better, I think. It's always problematic doing this live. Interesting. I suck at um, doing at all these camera settings. It's just not my forte, I think. Oops, sorry. Well, that will have to do. I think that's better. A bit better, maybe. But hey, what the hell? There's something maybe that I could do. Oh, that's a bit better. Okay, let's go with this. Now then, uh, for today I have a big beer. This is a Belgian ale, Delirium. It's a variant of Delirium Tremens, which is they have all sorts of ale type beers and a few specialties. So this is blonde, and it's been bottled in 2021. So this has been in the bottle for 4 years, and the back here says um, maturation in oak bourbon barrels provides this beer with with a unique full flavor of vanilla and caramel with hints of smoked wood and almond. Should be good. I've stored this for an extra year. The recommended opening time was, I think it was October of last year, but it doesn't go bad in that traditional sense of you might think a food or drink goes bad. It's a bit different for beer. Let's go with the corky cork. Okay, let's have there. Mm. Very sweet. I have a glass from Talon Craft Beer Weekend 2025. Okay. Look, it's a bit hazy. A bit hazy there. Okay. There. So. Very fruity, and there's a clear note of caramel. I really like it. The aging in bourbon barrels is really clear in this one. But I'll okay, let's throw that in the trash. Let's I need to take a small break. Be right back. Well, hello. I had some tinkering with the image settings because they're was on well for no particular reason they're always fucked up no matter what I try to do. But that's how it goes sometimes. But hey, seems that I have something good going on with the color of the shirt on the live stream. This is, I wonder if this is any better. Now looking directly at the live stream, so maybe that's better. Who knows? Oh well. It looks like shit, but that's how it goes sometimes. The output looks like shit. I don't know why. Let's try to. That looks shit. Not better, really. Let's have some more light. Maybe. I don't know why that in particular looks. That chair and everything black here looks so shit. No idea. It's really unclear to me why my video always looks looks shit on my live streams, whereas in the videos, the recorded videos, it just looks fine. It looks just fine on the recordings. So who knows? Maybe it's just the shade of my shirt. Anyway, it's been 5 years of Heidi's Corner. It's been quite a long time, and it's been maybe just over a month, maybe, that I since the official 5-year mark of my channel. But I've had so much other things to think about that I've actually just I forgot. And there will be in not so distant future, there will be changes in my uploads. The reason being that I'm actually quite sick. I'm not sure whether I'm ready to really talk about that in detail, but it's not looking good, and I will try and keep things as normal as possible, relatively speaking. And the thing is that Katya's dad is really sick too, so there's been an extra layer of stress because I'm sick and he is sick. So, but as for wait, shit, some paper. There we go. I had to get some paper and wipe the table. Just spilled some beer. And by the way, this is 11.5% ABV. And while I went to get some, and while I was wiping the beer off the table and the floor, I gave Katya a zip, and she kind of liked it, which is unusual because she not not that often likes my stronger beers, especially this is 11.5, especially like 9, say 10% plus. Okay, let's see. So let's go with okay, how the fuck do I? Okay, there. So this is the oh shit, I need to hide the I just reinstalled pretty much everything. I need to. Well, okay. Well, whatever. Um, yeah, there. It's been, yeah, here we go. There's the most recent video that I made. It was a true crime episode about Marko Mallat. There's been 44 views as of right now. It's been a few weeks. I'm still hoping to get. I'm still holding up with the part two. Why? Because I'm still waiting for a reporter and writer to get back to me. And as to when that may or may not be, I don't know. Actually, I got a message on WhatsApp from this person a couple of days ago, and I replied, and I'm still kind of um, waiting. They asked for the links to to the Marco video, the part one. Somehow the notification didn't work, didn't make it through. Jens, I'm glad you're here. Anyway, Jens, there's a strong ale that I have here, barrel aged delirium from Haugen, Belgian brewery. It's special one. It was barrel aged in a bourbon barrel for I think it was at least a year, and then it was bottled in 2021, and it matured in the bottle, of which the I think a year almost a year and a half of that 4 years it was in my on my shelf in the dark, and it's blonde 11.5% ABV. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm still waiting to hear back from the reporter slash writer. Uh, uh, they kind of promised to get back to me after I gave them the link to the part one of the Marco video, and the and a link to a hidden video that I have on my channel. I have a hidden video which is just the interview. Uh, that is a part of the Marco Part 1 video. Now, and I have also the Jennifer Fairgate video. I have the Vieristi parts 1 and 2. And the other day I was doing some writing for the part two on the Marco videos, but currently I have so many things on my mind because Jens, I in earlier on in the video I mentioned that I'm currently myself very sick, um, and will be for a good while. So there will be some interruptions, irregularities, and I may or may not the quality may or may not suffer of my videos, but who knows? Um, because I'll just say that I'll just say it out loud. I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I have an appointment to Helsinki University Hospital next month, November 6th, to see a specialist, a neurosurgeon. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't really know much. That I've been having symptoms, but they are relatively mild, which is good for now. And yes, the glass is from the Tallinn Craft Beer weekend this year, this summer, where I was. Anyway, so there will be. I haven't been as active as I would have wanted to be in the past year. Also, but it has been mainly due to work. My work schedules have been such that I may or may not have been at the time or been uh, able to make a lot of content. And we have, yes, the after show. Then I was in Luxembourg and then Tallinn, and I have the eating disorder video. I was diagnosed with an eating disorder that I've been suffering from for the better part of my life since my mother told me that the first time I showed symptoms was when I was 7 years old. So basically, the small town where this Marco case happened is a town where I'm from, where I grew up, and it really stuck with me. Marco's case really stuck with me because I distinctly remember it being a huge case at the time, and it's still it's still kind of stuck in the back of the minds of the locals. I haven't been in the town in a few years. I occasionally go there, but if I have a a good reason, and quite often I do not have a good, I don't really have a reason to go there. Besides, I don't really want to go there. So I really it's really hard to get to come by a reason whereby I would really feel like that I would have a reason to go there. I think what I want to do with the true crime content, I really um, what I really like is uh, this sort of unsolved cases. Um, I really like the the I the concept of something being something as serious as a disappearance, a person's disappearance, or a mysterious death in mysterious circumstances, or like the case of Jennifer Fairgate. And there was the a few decades earlier in the 70s, the Jennifer Fairgate case happened in mid 90s, but there was a case in the 70s in Norway, which was called the Isdal woman case, where there was also an unidentified decedent, a female, an unidentified female decedent, and there were some really shady circumstances surrounding her case. It was it's really weird. I think I might wanna take that as a next case for for the next true crime episode, because that there is because it's another Scandinavian case. Um, there are mysterious disappearances and crimes in really mysterious circumstances, not just homicides. Uh, Homicides, disappearances, etc., in mysterious circumstances in Scandinavia, quite a bit actually, which is quite interesting, I think. Um, a few come to mind from Finland alone, but yes, from Scandinavia as well. Uh, for example, the case of Antti Hanhivaara from Finland, and there are plenty of disappearances because uh, going on these ferry cruises uh, in the Baltic Sea from between Finland, um, Estonia, and Sweden, mainly on routes between Helsinki and Tallinn, Tallinn and Stockholm, and then Tallinn from Helsinki, Finland to Tallinn, Estonia, then Tallinn to Stockholm, Sweden, and then uh, Turku, Finland, and then from Turku, Finland to Stockholm, Sweden, via Ahvenanmaa, which is Åland Islands. It's an autonomous province of Finland. Long story. So people disappear from these cruise ships. For example, Niku Patronen, a Finnish young, I think he was 19 years old at the time. He just poof. He was seen in the last sighting of him was at like 2 2 o'clock 2 a.m., like 2:30 or something a.m. On a security camera on CCTV with two Asian women. After that, no CCTV footage, nothing. It was never seen again. Poof. Um, More on that later, but there are many other disappearances from these cruise ships from Turku and Helsinki to Stockholm, from Turku specifically, but also from Helsinki. So there have been some conspiracies regarding these cases, that there is someone or someone's uh, behind these, that it would be something like that it would somehow be organized. Also, there's a person or a group of persons responsible for these disappearances, whether it be human trafficking, homicide, human trafficking, you know, selling their kidneys to the black market, etc. There's been plenty of conspiracies, and that's worth a video, I think, at some point in the future. Who knows? Anyway, but I think. Oh, and by the way, I think I'm not sure if I mentioned in the Jennifer Fairgate case, but there was a Danish woman called Camilla Stena, who went missing in, I think it was sometime between, I think it was maybe 80, somewhere around 80, between 85 and 87, 1985 to 87. She went missing from Denmark. And for some reason, if you Google it, Google her, um, yeah, so she often tends to be, yeah, this this woman, the internet says this woman is Jennifer Fairgate, but no, that is Camilla Stena. It's sort of mistaken identity. Uh, this The internet tends to say that this woman is the same as Jennifer Fairgate, but it's not. This is Camilla Stena, who went missing um, some years earlier in late 80s, almost 10 years before Jennifer did. But the ages of these don't match. Yeah, she was found in, yeah. I decided to put that away because there was some graphic content, for example, facial face pictures taken during autopsy. Yeah. So Camilla Stena was 25 in 1987, so she would be too old to be Jennifer Fairgate. Here's to a question: why are the press using the photo of missing Danish woman Camilla Stena for an unidentified woman, Jennifer Fairgate? And the short answer is because they're lazy and careless and don't do their research. So fuck them. Um, and plus the original source for the lazy and careless don't do their research with the photo with connecting the laziness, stupidity, incompetence. Um, the first was by the Sun, which is the worst of the worst of the worst in the world of yellow press, and it's it's clickbait. Plus, it's clickbait. It's really clickbaited to, oh yeah, here we got a picture from years gone by. But hey, who cares if you sell these? Yeah, it's Jens says they probably wanted a picture of some uh missing woman. Yeah, I think they did. But the thing is, the sketches don't even match because the media used the artist sketches from the original case files. The one that I have as the that I have as the this picture here, this picture that I had as the thumbnail. the short hair, black leather jacket, etc., etc. They use that photo that I've used the sketch, the police artist sketch, and put it next to the picture of Camilla Stena, the missing Danish woman, and say, oh look, this is the same." But no, it's not. It's not. No. And besides, they use this sketch to go with yeah, they use like this picture with with this picture. It doesn't even look the same. It doesn't even look the same. This it's the face the sketch and the picture of Camilla Stena. They don't even match. Uh, even by a long shot. Plus, they Camilla Stena is far too old to be Jennifer Fairgate by at least a decade, because Camilla Stena was 25 when she went missing in 1986, and I think Jennifer Fairgate was something like 20, 25 ish, based on the teeth enamel for an isotope testing. She was around 25 to 30 years old. That means I think they measured it. Both female brunette with short hair, close enough for tabloids. Exactly, female brunette, and they both were kind of petite. Look, I mean, this is Camilla Stena. She's petite. Oh, sorry. Oh, there. She's kind of petite, as was Jennifer Fairgate. So petite female brunette, short hair, and weird accent, because the Danish speak a different language than the Norwegian, and a lot of Danish people speak German. They're closer to Germany, you know, if you look at the map. Uh, yeah, who knows? Who knows? I mean, the reception said Jennifer Fairgate spoke German uh, and spoke fluent English with no remarkable accent. So probably not Danish. Probably not Danish, because uh, Danish and Norwegian, they're quite close. It's like German and they're like closer than German and Dutch. I think they're closer, much closer than German and Dutch. I think so. If a Danish person called a Norwegian hotel like a I think Camilla went missing from around uh, Copenhagen, which is a big metropolis. So if a Danish person wanted to book a hotel in Norway, they would have probably spoken Danish or Norwegian, because they are to quite large extent uh, mutually intelligible. So, but a Danish person, and besides, a Danish person would never speak like highly with a great probability. Correct me on this one if I'm wrong. A Danish person would never speak German to Norwegian, because their languages are so closely mutually intelligible. And maybe Camilla Stena would be also a case for, I mean, an article from a blog post rather is says that Stena Danish is much closer to Norwegian than to German. Yes, it is. Yes, and as I understand it, the Norwegian, the New Norsk, there are two, New Norsk and Bokmål Norsk. The New Norsk, and by extension, the standard Norwegian written language is largely largely based on Danish because they were one kingdom until fairly not until the 1800s, early 1900s, I think. But anyway, a blog post that I have now with me here, it says Stena at 23 was around the same age, but uh, around the same age as the Oslo woman, short black hair, resemblance to Jennifer Farragate in life, but there's no link. So she was 23 when she went missing. Some sources say 86, some say 87. As I understand it, she probably went missing in she probably went missing in 86, but she was reported missing in 87, so she wasn't really missed for a very long time, which is quite sad if you really think about it. You're not a young woman in her early 20s, not missed for many months, up to a year. It's really sad, really, if you think about it. A young person at 23, 24. Anyway, Camila Stena is a, probably a decade, almost a decade older than Jennifer Fairgate. So it doesn't really match because it has been proven um, beyond any reasonable doubt that Jennifer Fairgate was in her mid 20s in 1995, and which would make her born in around 1970 to 1972. Um, and if we do some math, uh, if Camilla was 23 in 1987, she would have been born in 1965. So she would have been 5 to 8 years older than Jennifer Farragate. And as we know from isotope testing, isotope etc. testing etc., that Jennifer Farragate was born in early 70s. So there can there is no connection. Well, if you really think about it, there could, if you want to speculate, there could be. I mean, there could be I mean, many serial killers operate um, over a span of several years. But as we all know, the case of Jennifer Fairgate wasn't really wasn't screaming uh, serial killer. Jennifer Fairgate, the case of Jennifer Fairgate was more like screaming spies, espionage, assassination, etc., etc. Which Camila Stena was a regular hippie girl of the late 80s, mid to late 80s. So there was no, I mean, that could the case of Camila Stena, that in theory could be a case of maybe a serial offender. I do not know if there are any cases of cases of serial disappearances in Denmark or neighboring countries, namely Sweden and Germany, at the time of uh, let's say late 80s. Impossible to tell. I mean, I could go online and try to get Danish people to answer my questions if regarding possible several disappearances of young women in their early to mid 20s in the 80s in Denmark. Oh, Jens, you're from northern Germany, aren't you? Are there any I could look this up, but you were I was born in 1987, so I don't in Finland, so I don't have any recollection of those times in northern Germany or Denmark. But are there any no has there been any notable cases of famous notable cases of disappearing women in, women in their 20s disappearing in the 80s in northern Germany? Could be that could be an indication, if it's in northern Germany, it could be in Denmark. None that you're aware of. Okay, if shit like that, if shit like that happens in northern Germany, it might as well be happening in Denmark. But I don't know. I I don't have any Danish contacts as a so I'll just have to help myself. As for the googling of that. Anyway, we have the warning, the warning stuff, and I have already booked tickets to Tallinn, to the Tallinn Craft Beer Weekend for next year, 2026. For the whole weekend, 2 days, and Katya is coming there too. She has to work on Friday, so she will come there. She will join me on Saturday for one day of drinking good beer there, and there will be video footage of that coming up that in next June. Given that I'm in the shape of actually that I'm in the condition of actually traveling anywhere. At the time you were in college and in an internship in Carlisle, followed by years of lots of work. Okay. Uh, where is Carlisle? In England. Okay. Thought so. Carlisle is okay. Ah, there. Okay. Central. North. North. Well, that's quite far north of England. Okay. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I as for computers, I actually built Katya a new computer, and I gave her a new graphics card. So I have this is an RTX 2060 Super version by Asus. So if anyone wants to sell their kidney for and buy this from me, okay, just kidding. No one has to sell a kidney to buy for a GPU. It's 8 gigs of GDDR5, I think, in this, and it has one DVI port, and two HDMI and two um, display ports. And as I gave Katya, Katya's PC now has for processor. She's got Ryzen 7 3700X, and for GPU she's got a RTX 3080 Ti, which I donated to her because uh, a few months earlier, I purchased myself. I indulged myself with an RX 7900 XTX, which is a really good, much better. And I can tell you that an RX 7900 XTX is much better than 3080 Ti. So, I mean, and for example, with the twice the amount of VRAM, the 3080 Ti has 12 gigs of GDDR6, and the 7900 XTX has 24, and it's been really useful for me. And then Gotya's got 32 gigs of DDR4 at 3600 megahertz. Let's see how my computer looks. Okay, looks nice. Yeah. Anyway, there are a lot of cases, true crime cases from Finland and the Nordics. Jens, what exactly did you study? You're an engineer of some sort, if I remember correctly, or in the technical field, at least. Oh, I could be mistaken. By the way, I still have the little LAN you gave me. It's still hanging. It's been hanging on my microphone stand screw ever since almost ever since we got home from that trip. Yeah. And then there are these accidents. There are accidents, maybe not that many. Um, Applied informatics, but didn't graduate. Okay, well, close enough. Anyway, there are these accidents that have been unsolved, but um, foul play is suspected, like the case of MS Estonia from '94. But there are really not good, really interesting unsolved cases, because as I said, I really prefer talking about unsolved cases, even though I've been told it could be really raw still for um, people involved. What did I? Like so. Anyway, unsolved cases. I think there are plenty of cases of unsolved uh, disappearances. I mean, it could be. I've been told that I can't remember who said it, but that I should avoid unsolved cases. But I think the mystery really draws me. I think mysteries really, in all sorts of mysteries, really draw me for some reason, really, really, really well. Really, really much. But I don't know why these these mysteries draw me. There's something I can't really explain. Uh, Maybe I'm in the same way I'm trying to maybe figure out myself. Uh, Trying to find answers, etc. But I don't know. Maybe talking about the Marco Malat case, it's a lot of it, I think, is trying to figure out, figuring out the town I lived in, figuring out why things happened, why things happened why in the 90s things happened the way things happened in this particular small town of 25,000 at the time. It's not big. Even on Finnish scale, it's small, relatively small. Uh, well, quite small. 25,000 is small in even in Finnish perspective of things. Because this town in particular is really, really messed up. It's really messed up. This small town of called Nokia. Uh, like it, it's racist, or at least was at the time. Probably, most likely, still is. But it was racist to the point where uh, a boy in my school had to transfer to another school because he was targeted with this horrible, horrible, vile, racist shit you don't really even hear these days anymore. Why? Because his dad is German. His dad is a white German, white, as white German as it goes, just normal German person, your average German person, and his mother was just a white regular Finnish lady. But then he still got racist shit so vile. I won't repeat here because I would be banned from YouTube for life. Just for being half German. Imagine what would happen if you were. I mean, there was a. However, and it was sort of they were biased towards certain things because this boy's name was different. I can't remember the name. What it was Jürgen or something like that. Uh, and but there was a girl who was brown, but she was met with interest, intrigue. People were intrigued of her because uh, her dad was a black American basketball player, a famous one. I don't remember his name anymore, but he was famous at the time, like really famous. at the time, uh, and he lived in and he played for the local team for a few seasons in the 90s. So she was okay because her dad was a basketball star. Basketball was really a huge thing in the town in the 90s, and our teacher was the coach of the of the local league basketball national league basketball team. So the dark girl was okay. She didn't get any shit. Both girls and boys were interested because she was tall, she was skinny, tall, pretty, etc. And her dad was a basketball star. But then the poor boy whose dad was an average Joe from Germany got all the shit. So when I grew up in this kind of town, this and one of our sports teachers, we had two for boys, and I think uh, the female teacher taught the girls and some years of boys. Uh, but there was a school year where one of the two male sports teachers for boys was gay, and I remember hearing. I remember the bullying he got. It was horrible. I think it was openly gay, and he lived with his partner at the time, and he got horrible, vile shit, and he was made to resign before the school year was out for being just because he was gay. He was made to resign because he was gay. Um, and there was a priest, a female priest who lived with a woman, lived with a woman. Uh, and I think there was talk. This was when I was a teenager. There was talk that they she was forced. At this point, there was uh, registered partnership for gay couples in Finland, and they were forced to go to register their partnership because a priest cannot live with a partner of other sex, but especially because I mean that was also something said of that her there was no way in hell a, a lesbian priest could live with her girlfriend without getting married. I mean, but for straight priest, it was okay to live with his girlfriend, but you know that kind of town I'm from. Look how messed up I am. So, so maybe you understand why I have an urge to figure out the town now that I'm in my late 30s. I just turned 38 last summer. I have this urge of trying to figure it out, figure all the shit out before I go. That's why uh, trying to figure out or trying to make not figure out, but trying to make sense of things. Trying to make sense of things maybe is a good um, term for the what I'm trying to get at. If you Do you understand what I mean? Oh, by the way, I also recently I've been upgrading uh, bit by bit. I've been upgrading my PC. I recently purchased top of the line. Um, I purchased uh, an Asus motherboard, ROG Crosshair 8 Extreme AM4 platform. It cost me a fair bit of a big penny. But, Jen says, I grew up in a smallish coastal town. Some people are just narrow-minded and petty. Exactly my thoughts. Anyway, I purchased a new motherboard. It has really nice, good overclocking features and shit. And now I can tell that this is shit. ROG Strix. I mean, ROG Strix X570E gaming motherboard, AM4 motherboard from Asus. This is shit. Do not buy this. If you are planning to upgrade um, on AM4, do not buy this shit. This is shit. I mean, the chipset temperature, no matter what I do, one feature that I really hate is the onboard cooling system. I mean, there's even a fan, a chipset fan here. It's supposed to cool the chipset, but after some years of being constantly not cooled and constantly operating the chipset at over 90 degrees Celsius all the time, this actually on occasion started smelling, giving out a bad smell because of the hot I mean 90 plus constant 90 plus degrees Celsius heat on the silicon and whatever else this is made of. I tried even a small, I mean, literally, just a moment. Yeah, I mean, literally, even with a tiny GPU. This is like GTS. This is GTX 1050. Even though the PCH fan is not blocked, it was still round, between 90 and 100, 90 and 100 degrees Celsius all the time. So it's not particularly good. And why do I have a GTX 1050? Why do I have a GTX 1050 lying around? In case, just in case every other, um, in case every other GPU fails, this doesn't even need an extra power cable. It just works on the 75 watts that the PCIe port gives. So, but I can say confidently say that the ROG, that the new motherboard that I purchased is really good. Like, may or may not, this may be the next case. The case of Camilla Steina may well be um, from the punk rock community of Copenhagen. Could even be mystery regarding that has something to do, or may or may not have references to um, Christiania. Who knows? It says Copenhagen's punk rock community. Who knows if there are mentions of Christiania? I've actually been to Christiania. It's really nice. I would really love to move there, but it's very highly unlikely that the an opportunity would ever present itself to move there. Who knows? Who knows? But hey, I've been battling on for over an hour, so I think let's see if we have anything uh, worth mentioning in Discord. Nope. Oh, oh yeah, our little doggo Misan hurt her paw in in a doggy park. It's a small superficial. It's not cuts. You know, it, not like that a cut, but it's some the she definitely scratched it on something on the in the doggy park because the skin is broken and we've been trying to take care of her paw and she doesn't really want to walk, but it's not bad. It's not horrible. We'll see. We'll, we she can walk short distances. I'm sure it will be fine. Anyway, I will see you next time. Bye bye.